Okay, so good afternoon. Today we're going to be multiplying factors to find a product algebraically. Now let's talk about a few words that pop up when you're working in mathematics: factors and product. You've probably heard the word product in other contexts, like that's a really good product to buy, or there's lots of products on the shelves, or something along that nature. Product usually means stuff or merchandise. In math, however, it has a particular meaning, and a product is the result when you multiply stuff together. So it's a fancy way to say the answer if you multiply something. Factors, you probably obviously heard that, like what's the factors that lead to climate warming? In math, it's a term that means the things you multiply together to get an answer. So in this case, our factors are 3 and 8, and the product is 24. Now it is possible for a number to have more than 2 factors, okay? You can have 24's got a bunch of factors. You could multiply 2 and 12 together. You could do 1 and 24. You could even go negative, and don't forget that. If you go a negative times a negative, that's going to give you a positive, and that's important when you're working in algebra to remember that. So for example, negative 1 times negative 24, that will give you positive 24, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So let's do a little multiplication here, and here's our setup. Let's isolate that, and you've got 8 plus 2 times 7 plus 1. Now, you know that if you have these guys hard up against each other with nothing in the middle, that means multiply, all right? And when we're dealing with this kind of thing, we do the stuff in the parentheses first. So this is gonna work out pretty well. 8 plus 2 is 10, 7 plus 1 is 8, and now we've got 10 times 8, or 80, okay? All right, pretty straightforward. I want to show you something interesting, though. You could do this problem a different way. This would be a way that you automatically think of, but there is another way to do it, and it's this. You can multiply this guy, that's 56, 8 times 7, and this guy, 8 times 1 is 8. Here, you could go 2 times 7 is 14, and that is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. And if you did that, you'd discover something interesting. That's 64, that's 16, and if you add those together, oh, you get 80. Kind of cool. Is there any use for this, though? No, it's completely useless. You'd have to be crazy to do it this way. You want to do it the easy way, the lazy way. We pride ourselves on that, okay? So if you have numbers, you don't want to do it like this. However, let's just say that you don't have numbers. Then it becomes amazingly useful. Let's just say, for example, we had x plus 2 and x plus 3. Now, x means that we don't know what that is, okay? But we can still multiply. X times x is x squared. Remember, it's not 2x. Don't make that mistake. When you multiply something against itself, it's x squared. Like 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is not 10. Here, this would be 3x. X times 3 is 3x. On the bottom, you would have plus 2x. And 3 times 2 is 6. Now, it's perfectly okay to put x's and x's together. Not x squares and x's, but just x's and x's. That's cool. They're the same. So 3x and 2x is 5x. Nobody to combine with a 6, so we just drop him down. Nobody to combine with x squared, so we just drop that down. And our final answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, we don't know what x is, so that's as far as we can go, and that's fine. That's the answer that we're looking for when you're given this. Okay? Now, there's different ways that this can go down as far as presentation. You might see some negatives thrown in there. You might see a square thrown in there, but fundamentally what I've shown you here, this is how you do it. 2 over the top, 2 under, you combine the guys that you can combine. And on the next video, we'll do some different ones so you can see different scenarios and how that would work out.